The South Dakota Biotech Association in the past year has really gone through almost some next generation transformations in terms of how it's outreach to its members and how it's increased its scope.
It has evolved into an organization covering biotech across the board, including healthcare, agriculture, industrial and environmental applications, just like we had hoped it would. And we have been able to build tremendous interest and growth in the organization, but also, I think, be an important part of the ecosystem in growing research and development in the state of South Dakota. And certainly over the last year, we have seen really an exponential change in what South Dakota Biotech has been bringing into the state of South Dakota.
It's been an interesting evolution even of our board members. We've been able to recruit some amazing talent on our board of directors that can really help us put together initiatives and strategies that can help the other biotech members as well.
With funding from the SBA, South Dakota Biotech has been able to work directly with entrepreneurs through the South Dakota Fast Launch program over the last 3 years to offer training and financial assistance.
In that time, we gave over $325,000 to those startups to help them financially figure out how to do their customer discovery and implement their business plan. So I'm pretty proud of that.
7% of the U.S. GDP is in the upper Midwest, but only 0.1% of venture capital activity is here. So there's an opportunity to create more entrepreneurial ventures and spur further growth in startup companies by investing here in South Dakota.
This year also brought a first for South Dakota Biotech, a joint trade mission to Southeast Asia with South Dakota Trade.
I was impressed to see how many companies actually are doing work with or selling their product overseas. And so for me, that made me think we need to tell that story a bit more and brag about what our companies are doing, how they are working on a global aspect.
Additionally, South Dakota Biotech has focused on STEM education, with partnerships designed to get kids interested in science-related careers.
This year we have a $10,000 STEM grant that we are awarding to 10 companies, $1,000 each, for them to work deliberately with industry and to help bridge that gap between industry and the students.
The team at South Dakota Biotech is growing too, with Kara McCormick joining as Director of Science and Operations.
Mark Sowers will be our new board president, and he has a lot of great ideas because of the reach that he's had globally and the impact he's had across the U.S. So I think you'll see some really cool things that we want to involve into each of the communities. I would love to have people in communities tell me if they want to be involved. So we're looking for ambassadors.
South Dakota Biotech is here to serve as the connector, the central point for a state that's well-positioned to grow its presence across the broader biotech industry.
We have a healthcare industry in South Dakota that I think arguably is second to none in the states. We have agriculture in the state of South Dakota that's such an important part of our economy, but it is also an industry in the state that has embraced biotechnology and has been able to use it to the advantage of farmers and ranchers across the state, but in the production of food and agriculture. And then, of course, we have that industrial and environmental side with our ethanol plants and POET and other organizations that have been so involved in that. And so South Dakota is well-rounded in what makes biotechnology the best part of life science.
I'm very energized about biotechnology in this state. It's coming from our universities, from the private sector, but we have a long way to go in that regard. We're still 50th in R&D spend among all the states in the United States. But we have an incredible workforce. Our graduates that come out of our universities, the people that have come and relocated to South Dakota, bring an ethic and a desire to really win in the marketplace, which I hope we can really capitalize going forward.